Have you ever tried to relax, but your brain keeps reminding you about something you still haven't finished? You're not alone. Maybe it's an unfinished project, an email you forgot to send, or a task you've been avoiding for days. Strangely, unfinished tasks often stay in our minds longer than completed ones. Why does this happen? Why can't our brains simply let unfinished things go? The answer comes from a fascinating psychological phenomenon called the Zeigarnik Effect. The story begins nearly 100 years ago in a busy restaurant. A young psychologist noticed something unusual about the waiters working there. The waiters remembered unfinished orders extremely well, but quickly forgot completed ones. This observation inspired a series of experiments about memory and unfinished tasks. Participants were asked to complete different tasks, puzzles, and activities. But sometimes they were interrupted before finishing. And something remarkable happened. The unfinished tasks stayed active in their minds. Finished tasks, on the other hand, became much easier to forget. Your brain treats unfinished work differently, and understanding why could change the way you work forever. Think of your brain as a computer with too many tabs open. Every unfinished task keeps a small mental tab active in the background. The more unfinished tasks you have, the more mental energy your brain spends tracking them. Even when you're working on something completely different, unfinished tasks can keep pulling your attention back. That's why it's sometimes hard to focus. Your brain keeps reminding you about what hasn't been completed. Every open task takes a little bit of mental energy. Alone, it seems small, but together, it adds up. This is why unfinished work can follow you into the evening, even when you're trying to relax. Ironically, knowing a task is unfinished can sometimes make us avoid it even more. Sometimes the task feels so big that your brain treats it like a threat instead of an opportunity. And that's where procrastination often begins. We choose short-term comfort over long-term progress. The problem is that delaying the task doesn't close the mental loop, it keeps it open. Psychologists sometimes describe unfinished tasks as open loops that your brain wants to close. The moment progress happens, your brain starts relaxing because the loop is finally moving toward closure. This is why even small progress can feel surprisingly satisfying and motivating. So, how do we use this effect to our advantage instead of letting it work against us? Let's find out. Big tasks feel heavy because your brain sees them as one giant block. Break them into small steps, and suddenly they become manageable. If something feels difficult, just start for 2 minutes. Starting is often the hardest part. Once you start, momentum kicks in. The brain prefers continuing over restarting. When you turn tasks into habits, your brain stops treating them like threats. External reminders help your brain stop carrying unfinished tasks all day. Fewer distractions mean fewer open loops competing for your attention. Seeing your progress makes your brain want to keep going until everything is done. And when you finally complete a task, your brain gets real relief because the loop is closed. Your mind becomes lighter when you stop carrying unfinished work. Let's quickly summarize what we learned from the Zeigarnik Effect. Unfinished tasks create open loops, mental load, and constant distraction. But you can fix it by breaking tasks down, starting small, and tracking progress. So remember, it's not laziness. Your brain simply wants closure. Now tell me, what unfinished task keeps coming back to your mind? If you found this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe.